lot of you first time. So I actually started this group about a year and a half. And my story is I spent about 10 years in Silicon Valley and in the tech world. And about 2 years ago, I thought to myself, other than sitting at this cubicle, there's something more meaningful for me to do. So I quit my job and wanted to start a business. And in the process of it, I realized, wow, being in corporate and now dealing with like a startup mode and really meet people is hard. Like, where would I go and meet all these people? So I actually started this meetup about a year and a half ago, adopted, this group actually started in 2002. And when I took over, the first meetup was 5 people. And I was sitting in this room, and then my five of my friends were like, oh, you can do it. And the largest meetup, which is October, was BizTech Day, and we have a little bit over 500 people. So I'm very, very thankful that all of you guys here to really have nothing to do with me. It's really have everything to do with you. And for me, I work from home, and I know like a lot of times, you sit there at home and you're thinking, man, am I just like crazy, dreaming of all these like weird ideas? And I can tell you, you're not crazy. All of us are crazy people here. So this is your crowd. And I think in the email I mentioned, bring tons of business cards. The reason why we're here is really to support each other. That's the, in the entrepreneur community, we definitely, especially in this area, there's tons of us. But at the same time, we are really onto our thing. So a lot of time, we don't necessarily get to meet each other.
Mr. Stewart, how are you, sir?
Nice to see you, man. How are you?
Nice to see you. Wonderful.
This is my dad.
Hey, Peter, Matthew.
This is
Nice
Matt.
to meet you. Pleasure. How are you? I'm doing wonderful.
Anyone has in the background? What do you think? Thank you.
And as soon as they log in, you can chat with them, you can share code, documents, you can group chat, everything in one team room. And then I'm giving you a screenshot of their desktop 6 times an hour at random intervals. So you can validate the work you're doing for you.
That's clever.
And at the end of the week, you get an invoice for 40 hours. Well, you can go back and audit those 40 hours and say, let me see. Oh, that's Thursday. It said 6 hours. That's not my code. That's somebody else. I'm not paying. Right?
So you guys act like an escrow to guarantee payment to the other side of the...
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so...
We guarantee payment. If you log an hour in our system, I take the risk of collecting the money from the buyer.
Where I would say SF Entrepreneur Meetup Group is the coolest meetup group in San Francisco.
But one that you maybe have not integrated into your website or blog yet is Facebook Connect. So what Facebook Connect does is it allows your website or blog to generate stories from Facebook users when they sign into your website or blog that are published on Facebook, generating a lot more awareness around your presence within the Facebook network. Okay, tip number 3. This one has a lot of people scratching their heads at first, but try it out and you'll see what I mean. Use a Facebook page instead of your website or newsletter. The reason that you want to do this, it seems a little bit counterintuitive to people who love their websites, but the reason that you want to do this is because your Facebook page is viral. That's where you get the value out of Facebook. Facebook is viral. Your website and your newsletter are not viral. So you always want to send people to your Facebook page first, get them to become a fan, get them to interact there, and then push them over to your website to convert them into sales.
SavorTheSuccess.com.
Savor
SavorTheSuccess.com.
thesuccess.com.
And you can go to their website, or you can join their Facebook page. And I'm actually going to be speaking at their event next week as well about social media and about how to use their network. But they have an amazing online, it's free for the base level membership, just like LinkedIn and all the other networks. But it's amazing for female entrepreneurs. It's a killer network. And they load tons of free PR leads onto it. And then premium members get even more stuff.
You can see, as Edith mentioned earlier, Skype. We have 2 Radio Shack microphones in our conference room, right, with a jack, and we have 2 cheap speakers. Any conference call, you plug both of those in, and it's as clear as day, and it's free, right? And so we can run a worldwide engineering meeting with people all over the globe with, $60 of Radio Shack hardware and free Skype. So my point on this slide is that free or better, right? When you're starting your company, you don't have to go out and invest in a robust configuration management system. Subversion is fantastic for startups, right? And there's even companies out there that'll host it for you for minimal cost. I see a lot of people scribbling notes. Edith, if you don't provide these slides, I'm happy to. So you can ask for my card, or I'm G Swart at Odesk. I'm happy to send these slides to anybody.
And our company is actually a reaction to this economy. We were thinking about creating a package for small businesses without breaking their bags or their wallets. So we created a marketing and branding package that includes a 5-page website, a logo design, business cards and brochures, and we position you in Google as well. But not only that, we create the content that goes on your marketing materials, and we do this with a branding questionnaire. So it's targeting the small business community in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, and hopefully you guys could come and join us. firststepmarketing.com.
I wasn't going to be successful sitting in the basement of like the card store putting prices on Smurfs, which I did when I was a little bit younger. So after college, I got an opportunity to go to Sweden, of all places. And people said, why did you go to Sweden? And I'll just tell you, it wasn't for the weather. But in any case, I ended up in Sweden after college, and I lived in a student dorm. And there were all these people like, gosh, I miss America, and we've been there, and I can't get Levi's, and I can't get peanut butter, and I can't get chocolate chip cookies. And I was like, what? You can't get chocolate chip cookies? That's outrageous. How can that be the case? So I asked my mom to send me over some chocolate chips, and I made some chocolate chip cookies on the dorm, and people loved them. And I was like, this has got to be the biggest no-brainer since mankind. I mean, how can a country not have chocolate chip cookies, you know? I want to be the Henry Ford of chocolate chip cookies. So I went down to the Central Park there, made some cookies, handed them out, and that's kind of not really a great representation. But in the middle, you see the front page of the Wall Street Journal and the little blow-up called Sweet or Sweet Tooth. So one night, I'm on a bus coming home. There's another American guy sitting next to me, and we're coming back from a bar, and we start talking. He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, it's a long story, but I'm going to start a chain of cookie stores. And he goes, really? Wow, that's pretty cool. Tell me about it. So I told him a little bit about me. Then he handed me his card. He goes, hi, I'm Marcus Broccoli. I'm the Stockholm correspondent for the Wall Street Journal. Do you want to slide something under my door? And this was the late 80s, so there was like no email. It was like, slide a paper, or like send a curly fax. So I did that. And then a week later, my dad calls me from New York. He goes, hey, Mark, you're on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. I'm like, what? So I went down to the Central Station. I'm like, hey, guys, I'll bet you that you're going to give me all those copies of the Wall Street Journal for free. The guy's like, yeah, right. I'm like, what if I'm on the front page? He goes, yeah, then I'll give it to you for free. And I'm like, look, buddy. So I got them all for free.
Yeah. Just wondering, maybe you could share your thoughts. I mean, someone who's been involved with a lot of entrepreneurial efforts and companies. What's your kind of quick 10-second tips on lawyers working with small businesses, what they should kind of focus on?
I've had this discussion with my law firms for years, and I think there's a huge opportunity to basically sell a bundled group of services in a digestible, predictable way.